When the HOA tried to seize my family's land for their fancy resort, they had no clue I'd been setting a trap for months. They swallowed my bait, hook, line, and sinker. But how did I turn their greed into the most epic win our neighborhood had ever seen? The sting of a paper cut from the HOA's letter burned my finger as I stood by my mailbox, but the words inside cut deeper. After review of community boundaries, your back acre is now common property. I read it twice, hands trembling. This land had been in my family for 3 generations. I stormed to Catherine Harper's house, the new HOA president with her pristine lawn and fake smile. She answered in yoga gear, barely hiding her irritation. Can I help you, Michael? This letter says you're taking my land? There's got to be a mistake, I said, voice shaking. Catherine's smile was cold. No mistake. Our professional survey shows your great-uncle's hand-drawn maps were wrong. The board voted last night. Without telling me? I've paid taxes on that land for 20 years. She glanced at her nails. HOA bylaws don't require notification for property corrections. We're building a resort-style pool. Everyone benefits, even you. Before I could argue, music blasted from next door, Jake and Lisa Carter's yard. Catherine's smile warmed. I should go. The Carters are hosting a welcome party. Come, it might help you adjust. Walking home, I saw Jake and Lisa laughing by their new pool, built suspiciously close to my property line. That night, the music pounded until 1 a.m. I called Jake twice, no answer. At 1:15 I knocked. Jake, red-faced and holding a beer, smirked. Party's over, man. What's up? It's 1:30. Some of us work tomorrow. Lisa appeared. We stopped at 1, per bylaws. Not our fault you hear us talking. Jake cut in. Eleanor said we're good until 1. Not our problem. Speaking of Catherine, I said, did you know about this HOA plan for my land? Their guilty looks said it all. You knew they were stealing it. Not stealing, Lisa snapped. Reallocating. The resort will have a lap pool, cabanas, a cocktail bar. On my property! Jake shrugged. It's not personal. Catherine showed us the real lines. Your uncle's maps were wrong. At home, I couldn't sleep. I dug out Great Uncle Tom's old chest from the attic, finding yellowed property deeds. Comparing them to Catherine's survey, I saw discrepancies. Tom's boundaries followed the creek, an oak tree, and a rocky ridge. The HOA's map ignored these, slicing off my best acre. A note on Tom's deed mentioned 1952 county markers. If those existed, I had a plan. I texted Mark Thompson, a surveyor who'd worked with my dad, at 3 a.m. Next morning, I called in sick and hit the county records office, where my cousin Brian worked. These HOA types are getting bold, Brian muttered, pulling dusty files. The 1952 survey showed my land extended beyond even my estimates. The creek had shifted after a 1978 flood, but property lines didn't. Catherine texted. Groundbreaking for Sunset Resort begins Tuesday. Clear your items. 5 days to act. Driving home, I passed the Carter's house. Workers set up huge speakers by their pool. Jake waved smugly. That afternoon, Mark arrived with gear. Let's find those markers, he said. If they're there, the HOA's screwed. By sunset, we found 4 markers under overgrown grass, confirming my land was 2 acres larger than I'd thought, including part of the Carter's pool. Mark whispered, This ridge? A 1950s survey notes it as a potential Native American site. Artifacts were found here in the 40s. I recalled Uncle Tom's tales of arrowheads. What's that mean legally? If confirmed, it triggers a preservation review. No development allowed. That night, another Carter party raged. I smiled, let them enjoy it. My doorbell rang at 8 p.m. Helen Morris, my 82-year-old neighbor, stood with a casserole. Thought you'd need dinner with that noise, she said. I spilled everything. Helen nodded. Catherine's been pulling stunts for years. She forced the Millers out with fake violations. Her sister got their house. Why's no one stopped her? Fear. She's tight with the mayor's wife. Helen's eyes gleamed. I taught history 40 years and volunteered at the county museum. I know preservation laws. As she left, she said, "This land's your history. Fight for it." At midnight, a text from an unknown number. "Meeting tomorrow, 7 a.m., Catherine's house. Contractors marking pool on your acre. Don't tell Michael." They'd meant to text someone else. They weren't waiting for Tuesday. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. Before dawn, Mark and I staked flags where Tom's deed indicated, one piercing the Carters' new deck. "They built it after the HOA survey," I said. "Convenient," Mark replied, showing his tablet. "The HOA ignored the creek's pre-1978 path. No professional misses that accidentally." As the sun rose, Catherine arrived with board members and a landscaping crew, marking my grandmother's rose garden for a tiki bar. I wanted to confront them, but Mark stopped me. "Not yet." At the Historical Society, Director Sarah greeted me. "Catherine requested records on your land." I explained my situation. Sarah frowned. "This happened in Oakwood. Their HOA president works for Catherine's developer friends. She showed a news article. They'd turned a neighborhood into rentals after forcing owners out. Grandpa mentioned artifacts," I said. Sarah revealed Tom had donated arrowheads and pottery. "Never fully examined. I can arrange an expert review." Back home, Helen showed me photos she'd taken of the crew. "Documentation's key." I called Brian. "I need the preservation filing process and dirt on Catherine's business ties." Jake watched me from his yard. "Excited for the resort?" he taunted. "Why'd you build your deck after the HOA survey but before the announcement?" I asked. His smile faded. "One marker's under your hot tub." He bolted inside. Catherine called, syrupy sweet. "Come discuss your concerns." "I want a special HOA meeting," I said. "Not necessary. It's decided." "Then so's my next step." "Are you threatening me?" she snapped. "Just following procedure, like documenting the 1952 markers your survey missed." Silence. "What markers?" "The ones Mark found. The county assessor disagrees with you." "We'll talk tomorrow. Stay off the common areas." "You mean my property?" I said, hanging up. Brian called. "Catherine's scrambling for your records." "Too late. I flagged your parcel for historical review. No development pending." That night, Helen and Mark planned with me when headlights hit my windows. Catherine, the Carters, and a deputy arrived. "We're concerned about your erratic behavior," Catherine said. "Jake claimed I'd threatened him." "That's a lie." I pointed to Helen's security camera. The deputy, uneasy, reviewed my documents, Mark's survey, Tom's deed, marker photos. "This is a civil matter," he said. Catherine fumed as they left. I called out, "Tell your lakeside development pals the county's reviewing my land for preservation." Catherine froze. "How did you know?" She stopped, but it was too late. "They'll lawyer up next," Mark warned. Brian texted, "Catherine's husband is CFO at Lakeside. They filed for vacation rentals here." The HOA called an emergency meeting. At 4:30 a.m., a bulldozer roared toward my acre. I raced outside, waving my flashlight. "Stop!" The operator showed fake HOA papers. Catherine arrived, smirking. "Watch the groundbreaking, Michael." "I called Sheriff Daniels," I said. "You're trespassing." "According to our survey, this is community land," she replied. "I filed an injunction. I have the 1952 markers." Her eyebrows rose. "An injunction?" "Inconvenient." Sheriff Daniels, my dad's old friend, demanded permits. Catherine faltered. Helen approached with 30-year-old HOA minutes proving the true boundaries. Your uncle and I stopped this in '89, she said. I demanded harassment charges. Catherine backed off, citing a paperwork conflict. Neighbors recorded everything. At the meeting, I crashed Catherine's speech, presenting Tom's 1952 survey and Mark's report, showing my land included the Carter's pool and Catherine's addition. Gasps erupted. Your survey was done by your brother-in-law's firm, I said, revealing an ethics complaint. I showed arrowheads, confirmed as 800 years old, halting development. Catherine slipped, mentioning investors and contracts, sparking board outrage. Emails exposed her LLC buying adjacent land for profit. The board suspended her. 6 months later, a tax reassessment hit Catherine and the Carters hard for illegal structures. Jake, humbled, gave me a USB drive exposing Catherine's fake evidence plot. At the next meeting, I projected her emails, leading to her unanimous suspension. The leisure center was built on common land, noise rules were enforced, and I joined key committees. Catherine listed her house for sale. As Helen and I toasted on my porch, Brian texted, "Artifacts are rare. State wants a preservation grant. The land, now protected, would stay mine forever." Catherine's greed had blinded her to my trap, and justice came wrapped in preservation laws no HOA could touch. What do you think? Was my trap fair, or did I go too far? Share your thoughts below, especially on playing pranks in tense relationships like this. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's keep the debate going.